Hello everyone, welcome to StoryZen. Today we have a touching story about love, sacrifice, and the wisdom of our elders. Through this story, we'll see how our actions reveal our true character and why respecting the experience of older generations can help create a better world. As you listen, you'll also learn some new English words and see how they are used in sentences. This will help you improve your English while enjoying an inspiring story, so stay with us until the end. Long ago, in a quiet village far away in the mountains, there lived a poor young man named Isamu. He lived in a small house on the hillside with his elderly mother. They survived by working on a small piece of land. Life wasn't easy, but they were happy and grateful because they had each other. However, their peaceful life soon changed because of a cruel decision made by the emperor who ruled the land. The emperor was a harsh and heartless ruler. One day, he announced a terrible order. All elderly people in the kingdom would be put to death. He believed that old people no longer contributed to society and were only a burden. This shocking news spread fear throughout the villages. No one dared to question the emperor's command. Isamu was devastated. His mother wasn't just his parent, she was his guide, his teacher, and the person who had supported him through every difficulty. He felt torn between obeying the emperor and protecting the person he loved most. But in the end, his heart made the decision. He could never abandon his mother. Early the next morning, before the emperor's soldiers arrived, Isamu decided to take his mother deep into the mountains where she could hide safely. He remembered an old abandoned hut he had once seen during his travels. Though it was far from comfortable, it was the only place where she might survive. Carrying his weak mother on his back, Isamu slowly climbed the steep mountain path. The journey was long and exhausting, but he refused to give up. While they traveled, his mother quietly broke small branches from nearby trees and dropped them along the path. She did this secretly because she was worried her son might lose his way while returning home. When they finally reached the old hut at sunset, Isamu prepared a small resting place for his mother using leaves and blankets. He tried his best to make the place comfortable for her. When it was time to leave, his mother's eyes filled with tears. In a soft, trembling voice, she said, "Follow the branches I dropped along the way. They will guide you safely back home." At that moment, Isamu noticed her hands. They were scratched and bruised from breaking the branches. Even while facing her own suffering, she had been thinking about his safety. Overcome with emotion, Isamu burst into tears. Leaving her behind was the hardest decision he had ever made, but he promised himself he would never abandon her. From that day on, Isamu secretly climbed the mountain every day. He brought food and supplies for his mother, while continuing to work on his farm in the village. It was dangerous, but he did it out of love and respect. One day, the emperor announced another strange challenge for his people. He ordered the villagers to create a rope made entirely of ashes. Anyone who failed to do so would face severe punishment. The villagers were confused and frightened. The task seemed completely impossible. When Isamu visited his mother that evening, he told her about the emperor's challenge. His mother thought quietly for a moment. Then she said, "First, make a rope from straw. Lay it on a flat stone and burn it slowly on a calm night when there is no wind. The straw will burn away, but the ashes will remain in the shape of the rope." Isamu followed her instructions carefully. The next day, he presented the ash rope to the emperor's soldiers. Soon, news of this unusual solution reached the emperor himself. Curious and surprised, he ordered Isamu to appear before him. The emperor asked, "How did you manage to complete such an impossible task?" At that moment, Isamu decided to speak honestly. He revealed that his elderly mother had given him the idea and that he had secretly hidden her in the mountains despite the emperor's order. Expecting punishment, Isamu bowed his head and waited, but something unexpected happened. The emperor was deeply moved. He said, "Your love for your mother is greater than your fear of me. I believe the elderly were useless, but today I see how valuable their wisdom truly is." He continued, "Those who respect and care for their parents are the true treasures of this kingdom." With this new understanding, the emperor immediately canceled his cruel law. From that day forward, the elderly were no longer treated as a burden. Instead, they were honored and respected for their knowledge and experience. This beautiful story reminds us that wisdom often comes with age, and that love and respect for our elders can lead to a kinder and wiser society. And while listening to this story, we also practiced English by learning new words and sentences. Remember, Learning English becomes easier and more enjoyable when you practice regularly through stories. If you enjoyed this story from StoryZen, don't forget to like, comment, and share how this story inspired you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again in the next StoryZen story where we continue learning, growing, and improving together.